Gentlemen, welcome. It's Wednesday, 4 p.m.ish in New York City, and by popular demand, I'm taking on a controversial topic, steroids. Disclaimer, big disclaimer. This video is only for informational purposes. I do not condone nor condemn the use of steroids. I will just give you the facts. Steroids were most likely invented by the Germans, thank you, for the 1936 Olympics, where they had a mild form of testosterone. Then the Soviets in the Cold War copied that. The athletes became super powerful. The US said, can't happen. And they gave money to Dr. John Ziegler, and he invented Dianabol. And from there on, all hell broke loose. So all steroids are a derivative of testosterone. Do steroids work? They do. They promote muscle gain, strength gain, they help with recovery, they help with injuries, they promote overall well-being, and they help with digestion and utilization of food. They also have side effects, such as they increase your blood pressure, they shut down your hormonal production, acne, there can be liver damage, there can be aggression, there can be hair loss. So, steroids used in a sane manner are not as dangerous as they're being made out to be. The problem is that in this society of ours, everything gets taken to an extreme. So if somebody says 2 cups of coffee are great, and somebody says, well, 20 must be awesome. So steroids fall into 2 groups, anabolic and androgenic. Testosterone is the benchmark. It has a reading of 100 anabolic and 100 androgenic. The more androgenic a steroid is, the more powerful it is. The downside is it also has more side effects. So you have a steroid like primobolan or Anavar, which is very mild, but it also does not promote a great deal of gaining muscle mass or strength. Then on the other hand, you have steroids like trenbolone or masterone that really create insane physiques, but come at a higher price, such as kidney damage, high blood pressure, stroke, and all that kind of thing. So people always have to wage how much of a risk do they want to take when they're using those drugs. The second distinction is all steroids versus injectable. So people often ask if they could just do oral steroids because of the needle stigma or whatever it is. That's not a good idea. Any oral steroid has to pass through the liver. So there's a certain strain on the liver. If you do this for too long, there will be damage. So an oral steroid can really only be used for 4 to 6 weeks, which is too short to create lasting gains. So people often use something like Dianabol or something very strong as Anadrol to start out their cycles until the injectable steroids, which have a longer lasting time, kick in. So a pure oral cycle is not advisable. So backpedaling. The base of all steroids is testosterone. Testosterone comes in different esters. There's suspension, propionate, there's NFET, and then there's sustanone, which is a mix out of different esters. The difference is how long is in the bloodstream. So suspension, very short, a couple hours only. People that are being drug tested use that. Propionate, 48 hours, and then NFET is longer. Testosterone should be the base of any steroid cycle anybody ever does. Okay, so whatever your intent of using, you should have a base of testosterone to create a solid anabolic foundation. 99% of all people, by that I mean recreational athletes, do not need anything else but testosterone. I see them in my gym all the time. There are kids that are on 6 different drugs, and it's crazy. And then I look at their training and diet, and it's just substandard. Steroids will not make up for crappy diet and crappy training. Steroids can only enhance a very good diet and a very good training program. So anybody remember the show The Jersey Shore? Like, all these guys were using, they looked like bloated pufferfish. Why? Burgers, beer. So they are not magic pills. They will not negligate that burger or these donuts or that alcohol you drank. So the majority of people should just be on testosterone, nothing else. That's what we have the most research on, and it's the safest of all the drugs. Now, a topic that people forget is PCT, because at some point you should come off the drugs unless you have a death wish. So when people come off the drugs, they often make the following mistake. They gained a bunch of weight and they say, now it's time to cut. You cannot go on a diet when you're coming off the drugs. Why? Because dieting is catabolic, and your body is already catabolic because you don't have a natural testosterone yet. So you need to overeat during PCT. As for PCT, it's advisable to use HCG, human gonadotropin, to basically bring your HPD up. Then there is Clomid, the fertility drug, and then something like Nolvadex for the estrogen blockers. You should, and nobody ever does this, take as long of a break of steroids as you were on. Now, I'm that old, I still remember that people used them once a year for 10 weeks, and that was it. Now, people use them once a year for 52 weeks, which is nuts, okay? So, to summarize, if you must use steroids, and you feel your training and your diet is perfect and you're maxed out, testosterone will do it. A small amount, 240 milligrams a week, 8 to 10 weeks, and then go on to PCT. Everything else is unnecessary and creates unnecessary risk. That's just my opinion. Take it or leave it. Maik out.